Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. I just want to start today's video by thanking Kent for his donation to our channel's PayPal account. Thank you very much, Kent. There is no hole too deep for a narcissist to crawl into, no limit to the tools, weapons that they'll use against a victim, target, or a survivor, and I mean many years after you've departed. But there is one that I find just stands out above and beyond them all and really triggers or even leaves a door open for many other forms of abuse. That is the lack of validation, and I want to talk about validation today. So what is validation exactly? Validation is a recognition or affirmation that a person, their feelings, and their opinion are valid and worthwhile. Bad enough that this creature has lied to you, targeted you, specifically picked you out for the wonderful qualities that you possess, with no intention other than to trap you, destroy you, suck the life and the light out of you. It's absolutely horrendous. The lying, the cheating, the smear campaigns, the gaslighting, the triangulation, the love bombing, the insidious love bombing that sets the trap. With all of it combined, I really still feel that this lack of validation for how we're feeling is absolutely the most deadly weapon that they possess. Though there's no limit to the horrible things a narcissist will do to us, the lack of validation to me seems like one of the most dangerous aspects of this, one of the slipperiest slopes. Because I do believe that though many of us leave and leave multiple times, this lack of validation, this longing, this need for validation is the source for most hoovering. It's what makes hoovering effective, even if we've been gone for many, many years. We've got friends here at the channel who were free, remarried, had kids, moved on, and 20 years after the fact were hoovered back in. Now, when I talk to these people, this lack of validation seems to come up over and over again. I think it's a very natural human instinct to want to be validated. I mean, even if you're at work and you've done a great job, just a little, hey, good work today, is validation of your effort. But when your efforts have been so tremendous, so selfless, so intended to help them, to nurture them, to love them well, and you have paid a horrendous price for the sacrifice you've made, and none of that is validated, well, forget the lack of validation. Then it's all turned around on you, and all of their misery is projected on you. And not only are your good deeds not validated, but all of the suffering and the sacrifice that you've made has not been validated. But now you're the source of the problem. Now you're the bad guy. Now you're the one who's sick, crazy, and needs medication. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And I do see this lack of validation as not only a portal to be hoovered back into the relationship, but I also see this lack of validation as that thing we call the lingering soul tie.
I'm here to get validated.
But someday, man, someday, people are gonna see you for what you really are.
You really think so?
Absolutely. You are great.
Making such tremendous personal sacrifice for the narc is one thing, the financial sacrifice, the isolation we allow ourselves to be drawn into, the sacrificing of our interests, our hobbies, the very essence of who we are, is still not enough to be validated.
Need a validation, please?
You are great, ma'am. You have amazing cheekbones.
Really?
Lack of validation can be painful enough, but when you are then accused of all of the horrible things that they're doing, I think it just compounds this to a state of, oh, utter soul crushing. I believe so much about a narcissist behavior is actual confession, like true confession of what they're doing. Like when they're gaslighting you and saying you're the crazy one, well, they're the crazy one. When they accuse you of cheating, it's them. When they accuse you of being a liar, well, it's them. Anytime they're accusing us of something, I do believe it's a confession. And it's same with this lack of validation. I don't think they're able to validate us because they don't see themselves as valid. We know that they know. They know exactly what they are. And I think that this too is a confession of how invalid they really are, how much they are void human instinct, human compassion, human empathy, how void they are, validity, how much they really don't exist. I truly do believe that it's the narcissist's lack of existence, how fake they are, how made up they are, how contrived the mask is. I really have come to believe that they know they don't exist. So they need to make us feel like we don't exist, like our feelings aren't valid, like the experiences that we're having are just completely invalid. They want us to feel like we don't exist because they know they don't exist. And of course, the more unimportant we feel in the relationship, the more pain they can see on our face, the more supply this is giving them, and the more fed their dead, empty soul becomes. I believe it's this need for validation that causes us to go back, that makes the hoovering so effective. This longing for validation, believing they inflicted the injury. So if we go back, possibly we'll create an opportunity for them to validate what's happened to us and how we're feeling. We've often talked about the soul tie, and to be honest with you, the concept that we are somehow trauma bound or soul tied to them almost gives them power. When you look at it more carefully, I'm really wondering, if the soul tie even exists, or if this is a name we've made up for an actual lingering desire, almost a desperation to be validated, to be stamped. Yes, you're valid. Yes, what happened to you is real. No, you're not responsible. I think it's that need for validation. I'm not sure the soul tie even exists. Many of us have been held captive after our departure by what we've believed to be a soul tie, when I'm now beginning to believe that what this really is a lingering need for validation, and this validation is never coming from them. So today in this video, I want to validate each and every one of you. You didn't do this. You're not responsible for any of this. You were targeted because of your wonderful qualities, for the things that makes your light shine so bright. You're an incredible human being. You're a critical thinker. You're enlightened. You're kind. You're empathetic. You've got vision. You have magic. You have creativity. That's why you were targeted. That's why you were not validated, because of their envy and their soul-sucking greed. None of this is your fault. The concept of a soul tie or a trauma bond to them is quite disempowering. So today I challenge you all, put down the concept of a soul tie and validate yourself. No, absolutely none of this is your fault. I think the real way to cut a soul tie is to validate yourself. Throughout this video, I've shown clips from a short film called Validation. I've included a link below. Today, I don't need to be validated by some piece of shit. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day.